Salut și bine ați venit la ZF IT Generation. Eu sunt Adrian Săceleanu, jurnalist ZF, iar în ediția de astăzi a emisiunii vă prezentăm câteva fragmente relevante dintr-o dezbatere despre ecosistemul local de investiții și startup-uri care a avut loc în cadrul evenimentului ANIS International Summit. Mai exact, îi puteți asculta în continuare pe Andrei Dudoiu, SeedBlink, Marius Istrate, TechAngels România și Bogdan Axinia, eMAG Ventures, vorbind despre provocările din ecosistemul local de startup-uri și investiții tech. Vă invit, deci, să-i urmăriți.
Hello everyone. So we are the ground, since from the ground. Here's the ground. I represented the ground. I'm leading TechAngels, which is the largest business angel organization in the country and most likely in the region. 150 members, most of them Romanian. We have deployed 46 million euro, which we invested over the past 11 years, mostly at pre-seed and seed, and I'll get into that. 300 startups that have been funded by our members. 80% of them are either Romanian startups based in Romania or started by Romanians in the diaspora. And a few of them are in Hungary, Bulgaria, Croatia, Slovenia, and Moldova. Foreign founders, foreign pipeline. We indeed invest at early stages. 60% of the capital deployed by TechAngels members has been at very early stages, sometimes at inception. It means that we know the founders, we trust the founders, we have worked with the founders in some capacity maybe before. They come and they pitch TechAngels, we manage to syndicate a number of people into a deal, and we support founders at very, very early stages. So again, this can be inception level, this can be before there is even a minimum viable product. And this is what angels, if you look at what angel investors do, from everywhere across the globe, from the west coast of the United States to here in Europe. This is what we do. We advise these founders in the very early stages when there are no hands on deck. There's nobody to help them with anything, basically. So we advise them in those very early stages, and we sometimes do stuff for them, hands-on in those very early stages. That's where the value lies in having angels on board. And sometimes, you might have read some of these stories. You have PAs that turn back into operators and maybe go to support or to help a business they truly believe.
We started SeedBlink 5 years ago. We have been the third authorized platform with a new regulation across Europe. And actually, starting with 3 years ago, we have a pan-European passport to operate in all the 27 EU countries. For attracting investors in this European space. Crowdfunding, probably now more of you are familiar with this concept, is democratizing access to tech startup investments. In our case, there are other platforms that offer these opportunities for startups to invest in startups, no matter the industry. In our case, we are a bit different. Now, after 5 years, we are more different than when we started. Across these 5 years, we have invested, our community actually of investors invested in more than 150 startups across Europe or even US. The total amounts raised through SeedBlink are exceeding 75 million euros in these 5 years. So we are, I would say, a relevant investor for the ecosystem. However, we are not on ourselves. We are co-investing in most of the cases. So these guys here, we are partnering up with angels, with VCs, even with AIC. We have a common project, Lumen, that we've been part of their investment round recently. So we are a sort of catalyst for the ecosystem. What we brought new to the table, I think the money that came from regular investors that wanted to diversify their portfolio, and before they were just investing in real estate, saving accounts or stock exchange opportunities. Of course, it's an education process. We always advise them to build portfolios and not to invest in just one-shot investment. They should be very lucky to identify the unicorn just from one investment. On this track that we had over the 5 years and the partnership we had with different stakeholders, now we transformed ourselves also in a more than an investment platform. We are offering also infrastructure for investment. So we are partnering up with a network of angels, also with different actors of professional investors to offer the framework to invest smoothly without having the headaches to build their own SPV or so. And yeah, happy to answer to following questions about the ecosystem.
Let me shoot with one. When would a startup go to SeedBlink to crowdfund?
If you are asking just about crowdfunding itself, we have two different pillars. One is now called community deals, where we welcome startups that are post MVP and they have already a sort of 3F investment, and we are helping them with networking effect. If they have a clear value proposition for our community of investors, they could come to us and advise them how to raise more money. The other pillar, which is for more mature startups, is the co-investment, the venture arm that we have, and we are partnering up with VCs, with business angels. They should have a clear lead investor for their round, and then we are following the same term sheet they already negotiated with the others. And of course, we are bringing in some potential advisors. The new investors, they are coming through the platform. We had some very quick wins with a number of founders that they asked for support for, I don't know, networking with different enterprises or following different investors for the next round. That they could help them they actually bring a number of new allies in their company. And of course, as I said, we always collaborate with all the other types of potential investors.
So we're doing a lot. First of all, we're present. The most important thing for, I think, not just for angels, for angels, for VCs, for everyone, is to show up. If you don't show up, then what's the point of this conversation? So yeah, we are members of the European Business Angel Network. When I say we TechAngels as an NGO, we're also members of BAE, Business Angels Europe. We connect with our peers from other countries. We try to understand how we are doing, in terms of volume of investments. Not as good, Our peers in Finland have invested 10 times more over the same period. How we're doing in terms of engagement, we're actually surprisingly good. Our group is almost as engaged as the top groups in Europe, but with lower amounts. Investors in our group simply don't have the same firepower than other people. Then in terms of investing itself, listen, I'm not this big believer in the idea that, oh my God, angels from Romania are going to start investing in Sweden and find the next Spotify. Like, this is not how the world works. It's true, we have a saying in the angel world, you typically invest within a 1 hour drive from home. It's not a 1 hour drive from home. It can be a 1 hour and a half flight from home. And you are going to find people from TechAngels at all, the events that are taking place in the region, whether in Budapest, in Sofia, in Chișinău, and some other places, obviously in Romania, everywhere, where it's possible. And yeah, we do try to show up. We try to build relationships with the venture capital firms. Oftentimes we co-invest. But we're an NGO, we're an angel network. It's all volunteering. Ultimately, there's only so much you can do. It's not angel network that's going to unlock the 10 trillion euro that people are holding in their deposits. So, what we can do is be evangelists, be promoters of what good looks like. But I think all of us have our work cut out for us for the rest. This is an area where maybe crowdfunding platforms can actually play a very important role, because human-to-human relationships don't scale as easily, right? But you can educate people at scale via platforms about what this investment asset class is, why it makes sense for them to join an angel network if they also contribute hands-on, if they also want to contribute to startups hands-on. So there's kind of a door opening right there for things at scale. But in terms of angel network, we can only do as much as any other angel network in the world.
Frankly, I do believe that actually to build a strong entrepreneurship system, you need to tick a lot of boxes, from access to capital, from education, from legislation, from the entire ecosystem of supporting companies to do that, and of course of good success stories that inspire other young people to become entrepreneurs, because we have a cultural problem in that we are not encouraged to try and fail. But as I told, all of the above must be thick, and it's part of our effort to grow that in how we can, with pushing for better legislation for angel, even for startups to have simple ESOP programs. Again, for easiest to reinvest the money. Example of an encouragement of the ones that succeed and have capital to reinvest in private equity money, being angel, VC, crowdfunding, private equity, and understand that there are a lot of asset classes beside real estate that is very heavy in Romania, and now we are competing with the state with bonds, and it's easier to say I have 7% on your own bonds, and why should I risk put my money on SeedBlink to have 20%, but higher risk, and so on and so on. So there are a lot of boxes to be ticked here. I am here, we are here. Actually, we need new faces, because I'm getting tired a little bit of your faces. We keep meeting and meeting, so we try to bring new people at the table, because it's a small country, a few tables.
Talking about new faces, I think an important support for the ecosystem to have more angel investment on the table is the scheme that was already applied with huge success first in UK and then was copied by President Macron in France, I think 2 years ago, and I think it's already happening in Greece. It was on the table on different governments here, but not approved. With the deduction scheme for whatever you invest in the startups, 50%, this is the scheme in UK and France, 50% deduction with the taxes that you pay on that year. So it's this stage of investing in startups, it's a risky investment, and the state should support in order to have more money, more private money to the table. They should show a sign of support for the ecosystem. On the other hand, I think we are lacking, this is my opinion, in Romania, at the kindergarten of founders, and this should also be supported by the state in the most risky phase of a startup, when it's just an idea and with small amounts coming from the government sources should support much more significantly the potential entrepreneurs, because a lot of people are dormant in corporations and probably they have an idea and want to go forward with it, but they are lacking the support at that specific phase.
And I think this is where the EIC can indeed play a crucial role in technology transfer and in some topics, right? This is what the Americans did. Everything that's in the iPhone today is technology that was funded by DARPA. Everything. Every little piece of technology in the iPhone was not invented by Apple. They just integrated it. I'm not saying this. Mariana Mazzucato is saying this in one of her books, I think The Entrepreneurial State. Okay? So we've got research on this. We know the importance of public funding for this. But what we are doing, and especially myself, members of SeedBlink as a crowdfunding platform, people who supported eMAG Ventures, which is private, entirely private capital, we're not doing philanthropy. Okay? If we're talking about some support system for some technology transfer, that's a great idea. We should have had, rockets capable of launching satellites reliably from Europe, but the expectation to finance that with private money out of Romania, I'm sorry, but it's a little bit out of place. Okay, let's all kind of know where we are in the pecking order. So there is some stuff that private money can do. There is some stuff that the EIC and European institutions are supposed to do. There is some stuff that the public sector can do, but honestly, like Bogdan said, if you keep inviting us, you're going to keep hearing the same things for us, because we're getting old and we're getting bitter, I think. Which is deregulate, not you, just me, sorry, okay. We're deregulate, less bureaucracy. If today, with a venture capital fund that has some public money, you get in the way of startups by delaying the VC firm by 1.5 years, then delaying the first investment that was promised to a first startup by 1 year, 1.5 years. How are you helping? How is that a support mechanism? If you keep delaying. So if we manage to deregulate, move fast, right? In order to build things, let's do it together. If not, then I'm sorry, we're going to be losing this war. And it's not very academic. We're just going to lose.